Hey Northside, my name is Andy Clark and I'm the life group minister here. And today I'm wondering if you've ever experienced some moments like this. Because not long ago, my kids, they were running in and out of the house and they were leaving the door open, and it's summer and it's hot. And finally I walked over to the door, and before I could stop myself from saying it, the words, "Close the door, what are you trying to do? Air condition the outside," came out of my mouth. And it's such a dad thing to say, right? But in that moment it hit me, it's such a my dad thing to say, because I had kind of officially become my dad. And have you ever experienced that where you've done something or said something and just right there in that moment you're like, all right, that's my dad or that's my mom. And for those of you with kids, maybe you've noticed this even within your own kids, because my wife and I, we see this in our boys all the time, because my kids, they like to snack on chips just like my wife does, and they love to play board games just like I do. My kids, I've noticed this, they often act like or they talk like me. And many of you have been there because you've noticed that moment when it might have been a little bit more negative, where they've done something or they said something and you're like, okay, where did you learn that from? And then you realize you learned it from me. You learned it from us. And so here's the deal with kids. Whether it's back when you were a kid or with your own kids, often things are more caught than they are taught. In other words, you are around your parents so much, or your kids are around you so much, that they pick up on your words, your actions, your character, good or bad, and then they emulate it. So we have to ask ourselves this question today. What are our kids picking up from us? Or maybe what is our spouse or our family or our friends, what are they picking up from us? Because there's a truth there that we have to realize, and I want to expand on it coming out of Psalm 1 through 3. It says this: "Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He's like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers." So we're in our Entrusted series, and we're talking about being entrusted with family. Say your family will naturally pick up on what you are rooted in. That's the truth from that passage. So we have to ask, where are my roots planted? Are they in the counsel of wicked or in the company of mockers? Or are they delighting in the law of the Lord and streams of living water? So you picked up on your parents' traits because you were in proximity to them, and your kids picked up on your traits because of their proximity to you. And the same is true with our Heavenly Father, that if you want to develop His character and His actions and His words, if you want to emulate God in your life, you have to be in proximity to them. You have to plant your roots in His waters in order to bear fruit and have leaves that don't wither. Say, remember, things are often more caught than taught. So when we plant our roots in proximity to God, our family, they'll see the results. And when they are in proximity to us, they'll begin to pick up on the character, actions, and words of God, the things that He is developing in us. Say, they will learn to plant their roots near the waters of God because of what they see in us. See, this is the secret to becoming the best husband or wife, or the dad or mom or son or daughter. It is God working through you and others catching it in your proximity and learning to do the same. So today, how are you doing in being in proximity to God? Say, go back and reread Psalm 1 through 3 today, and just spend some time asking God how you can better plant your life near His streams of waters.